I was 3 seconds away from opening that closet door. If I had, I wouldn't be here telling you this story. It was a Tuesday night. Nothing special. I was upstairs in my room, headset on, playing Call of Duty with the volume cranked up. My parents were out of town for the week, so I had the house to myself. I'd been gaming for maybe 2 hours when I thought I heard something downstairs. I muted the TV, listened. Nothing. I shrugged it off and went back to the game. An hour later, I heard it again. Louder this time. It sounded like shuffling, like someone dragging their feet across the floor. I paused the game completely. My heart was already racing. I told myself it was just the house settling, maybe a branch scraping the window. But I knew I had to check. I couldn't just sit there. So I went downstairs. The noise was coming from the basement. I opened the basement door, and immediately a wave of cold air hit me in the face. The kind of cold that doesn't belong indoors. I flicked on the light and went down the stairs. The basement window was wide open. The latch was broken, hanging loose. I froze. I had locked every window in the house before my parents left. I was sure of it. If you're still watching, don't look away. That's when I noticed the closet door. It was cracked open. Just an inch. Just enough. Would you have opened that door? Comment yes or no. I stood there staring at that door for what felt like forever. My brain was screaming at me to get out, but something kept me rooted in place. Curiosity maybe. Stupidity, definitely. I moved closer. My hand reached for the doorknob, and then I heard it. A low, wet crackle, like someone trying to breathe through a collapsed lung. It came from inside the closet. I bolted. I've never moved faster in my life. I flew up the stairs, slammed the basement door, locked it, and called 911. They arrived in under 4 minutes. 2 officers went downstairs while I waited by the front door, shaking. I heard them talking, heard footsteps, heard the closet door creak open. Then I heard the gunshot. The officers came back up a few minutes later, dragging a man in handcuffs. He was filthy, gaunt, wild-eyed. His clothes were torn and stained. One of the officers told me they'd found him inside the closet, holding a revolver. When they opened the door, he'd fired at them, missed by inches. They disarmed him, cuffed him, and hauled him out. The officer looked at me and said, "You're lucky you didn't open that door, kid." But here's the part that still keeps me up at night. As they were putting him in the squad car, the man looked back at me, and he smiled. Not a crazy smile, not an angry smile. A disappointed smile. Like I'd ruined something he'd been planning for a very long time. The officer told me they'd found a sleeping bag, food wrappers, and photos in that closet. Photos of me, sleeping,